Okay, do you want to know what my favorite song from Descendants is, like ever?
Yes.
What's my name? What's my name? Ooh, say it louder. What's my name? What's my name?
Uma.
Everybody, we have Anthony Pyatt on the podcast today. Anthony, welcome. We're
Thanks
so
for having
happy
me.
to have you. Okay, so let's let the people know where we know each other from.
Yes.
So you and I used to perform together
Run it back. Tell them.
at a theme park. We won't say which theme park. We used to perform together at a theme park where you were an iconic character and I got to play a truly iconic character.
You really were.
And we only got to work one shift together, which is like the funniest thing.
Ships in the night.
I know. And this was in 2019 or like early 2020, right before COVID. And what I remember the most of our time working together at this said theme park is that after our one shift together, you moved to New York.
Bye.
And it was like, bye, Anthony. Okay, great working with you at this one time. Why did you, and you moved there
Thanks
like,
for not being mad at me, theme park, for training me into a role and then immediately skating.
that's right.
I didn't mean to. It's just life happens.
Yeah. And yeah, that's right. Cause you had just trained in.
Yeah.
Like you really did only have two shifts, and one with me and one with someone else.
Listen, locations are temporary. Sometimes when you got to go, you got to go.
And you went to New York to just pursue acting and stage and all that stuff?
I had lived there for 3 years prior, like 2012 to 2015. And then I was gung-ho to go back February 2020. And moved into Astoria, Queens. And then 5 weeks later, the unthinkable happened.
I know. It is so crazy to think about. I remember when everything was like starting to shut down and I was talking to the rest of, our castmates who got to do this gig with us. And we were all like, Anthony just moved to New York. Like, I remember that was like a topic of conversation. We were like,
and
shit.
I survived.
Yeah, he did. And he's back.
I made it.
He came back.
Vaccinated, baby.
Vaccinated, fully vaccinated. He got the booster and everything.
Yeah, I did. I got my papers. Check me.
I know. And then you came back and we didn't really see each other. But of course, I kept hearing about you because you were doing amazing things. So that's what brought you on the pod today.
I'm honored. And I'm here to interview the Onyx Serrano. Am I saying it right?
Serrano.
Of Gordita Chronicles, Fantasy Island, and Juror Number 2 fame. I have so many questions.
Oh my goodness. So it's going to be a double interview type thing.
Maybe.
Okay. I love that.
Yeah. I'll let it flow.
So you and I, for a brief while, had the same agent.
Yes.
And I remember when I joined this agency and I signed with our agent, that's when the news was coming out that you had booked Descendants.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember thinking when I heard the news and saw who you were playing, I was like, this makes so much sense. I mean, look at him. Look at him. Does he not look like a young Cheyenne Jackson? I mean, like, I totally see it. When you audition.
Cheyenne agrees?
I would hope so. I was going to say, have you not met him?
I have not.
You didn't get to meet him? Like, not even he wasn't at the premiere or anything?
We have not chatted yet.
Oh,
Cheyenne,
what's going on?
It's okay. I'd love to be your friend. I'm a big fan. I think you're very talented, and I've been following your work for a long time. So, in the event you see this, I hope you're doing well.
Yeah, in the event.
And I hope you enjoyed Oh Mary and whatever it is you're working on next. And you've got a fan in your corner whenever you need one.
I hope that you got to watch Descendants 4, right? It was the fourth one.
Yeah. Nailed it.
Yeah. Descendants 4. I was like, how many? I know they're coming out with like 5 now, right? I'm trying to keep track.
There is another one coming out.
Yes.
I don't know if there's a release date yet, but they did finish filming it.
Yeah. I don't know. I remember when I heard the news and I saw who you're playing, I was like, this makes total sense. You look like a young Cheyenne Jackson for sure.
Talk about right place, right time.
How did you feel when you got the audition and you saw like the role? Did you also feel like, oh yeah, like I look like a young Cheyenne Jackson?
I was more excited about the Hades portion. No shade to Cheyenne. I love Cheyenne.
Yeah.
I'm excited to work as an actor, period. So
right.
when I feel right for something, I'm like, yes, all right, yes, I could do this. But Hades is such an iconic character, and the fact that when they bring him to life in this different franchise where it's got its own life to it, that excites me. When you have like something to pull from, and then you can make it your own and put your own spin on it. So I was really excited about that.
That is really exciting.
I got super hype. I put on my best blues and blacks and did my dance for them and all that.
So I heard in another interview that you did that the callback or the audition, I can't remember, was just one line.
It was one line. I did it like something like 8 different ways, and then found out much later into the process that it was actually a lyric to a song. In fact, most most of the things you hear me say and do in the film were not scripted. I was really lucky to have a free environment on set to try
that's
things.
amazing.
And then
That's
they
amazing.
liked those things and put a camera and a microphone on me and then edit. And then the editor kept it in. When I went to the premiere, the editor was so kind. I met her and her whole family and she was like, I really enjoyed your work. And I was like, thank you so much. And it was like, everyone's being super nice and excited to each other at a red carpet. I don't know what to expect. I don't really know these people.
Yeah,
but she seemed very kind. And then we sat down and watched the film and I was like, oh, dang. Like a lot of my stuff like stayed in. Like people edit and quote the, someone should help her line. And I thought,
just saw it on TikTok. It
for
literally popped
sure
up on my For You page.
somebody was going to come over and be like, hey, that's not in the script. Can you cut that out? And instead they were like, can we get a camera on this guy? And I was like, heck
yeah, you can.
Talk about validation. I'm like, let me try it. Let me do a backflip. And they were like, well, this is a holdback.
Yeah. But what? So what was in this like original script then for Hades? Like not much. Like if you had not improvised, like you were just kind of there.
Yeah. Gosh, there's so much I could say to that.
Yeah.
What was in the script versus what became the film, happens a lot. And
of course.
Film are different. I think I feel like a portion of the reason we existed is a love letter to the fans.
Yeah.
That understands like why it's important that we're there. And that was we're there to back up Uli, who was really the queen bee, and she was incredible.
Yeah, she was very incredible in that film. Yeah. She did amazing.
And on and off camera, just a really cool person built for this. She can kind of do no wrong there.
That is amazing. So other than your improv lines, but like you were in the songs, right? Like you had your bits and pieces in these.
I recorded it right here in Orlando.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they need all the songs locked in solid so that when we're choreographing and rehearsing and filming, it's over what the song will be. So that has to be like done.
All right. So walk me through this process because you get it starts with the audition, right? Mm-hmm. So you get the email. They said, hey, we want you to read for this. You see it's did it say Descendants on it or did it say Untitled Disney Project?
I should have worn my beanie. It was called Pocket Watch through the whole process.
Oh, it had a code name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I think it was a code name or they were still deciding, in process.
What they wanted to do with it. Okay.
But it was originally called Pocket Watch. We all have like merchandise that say like Pocket Watch from when we filmed it. And as a working actor, you get self-tapes all the time and titles come and go. And sometimes you recognize them. Sometimes you're like, another audition. I seem right for that. Let me put in the work. But I did more research into it like an actor does. An actor prepares. Thank you, Stanislavski.
There you go.
And I was like, oh, this is Descendants. Like, that's really cool. What do you want to know next? You want to know the whole?
Well, yeah. So you put it on tape and it was the one line.
It was the one line. I did 3 different ways. Sang a song and recorded a dance video in my garage. And
they wanted you to sing and dance for this?
All of it.
I guess your character, does dance and obviously sings, but
triple threat, baby.
Oh yeah, that he is.
Yeah, real triple threat for anyone watching who cares is not just talent, but professional acumen and kindness, because it's long days when you book a job, anywhere from 10 to 14 hour days. And you could be super professional and talented, but if you're a jerk, no one wants to work with you.
Yeah, you ain't gonna get far.
If you're cool and you're talented, but like you can't show up on time or learn your lines, that you got to do. So, and that's my little 10-second soapbox. Like when people talk about triple threat, to my brain, that's what it is.
That's what your mind goes to. Yeah, no, which is valid.
Yeah.
So you do the audition, you submit the tape. It takes a while to hear back, of course,
and then a Zoom call back. I do the line a few more times, a few different ways. Just the line.
Yeah.
Thanks so much. And
what was the line?
We could burn her to a crisp, I think.
That was it.
That was it. And Jennifer Pong was in the room for the Zoom callback, the director. She's fantastic, wonderful person, great at what she does. I miss her dearly. And then I got a phone call from the casting director herself. And she was like, hey, I'm never going to tell another TV film actor this as long as I live, but I need you to do it. Big and splashy. She's like, it's a musical. And I was like, like, I don't think it fully clicked for me. Like I was like Descendants, but
yeah, you forgot there was a musical component to it.
I didn't know that the middle of the thing I was doing was in the middle of a song. So I was thinking like, you
were like being grounded
scene
and
acting, not like song acting. And she's like, yeah, I need you to deliver it like you're right in the middle of a song. And I was like, oh, okay. Ran back home for the umpteenth time. I set up like a chair. I was like jumping off chairs, like trying to make it like big and huge and like doing all my like Grease, Danny Zuko type stuff.
Yeah.
Put a mark in my friend's wall with the chair that I eventually scrubbed out from jumping off the chair.
You got to do what you got to do, you know, to book the job. So I'm sure your friend didn't mind.
And then here's a fun fact. I don't know if I've shared on a podcast before.
Oh, so is this a So Sincerely exclusive?
It might be a So Sincerely exclusive. Or
finally, my first one.
Forgetful. Either way, let's call it a So Sincerely exclusive. I was at a callback for a really cool job that day, and the casting director had a lanyard on with one pin, and it was Hades. And then like 2 hours later, I got the call that I booked the movie, and I was like, "Whoa!" It was like an omen. It was really cool.
Yeah.
It was really cool. And that's how I got it. Yeah, I got the call. I was in a store. I remember looking at towels and blankets and being like, what do I do? What do I do with what if I forget how to act? What do I do with my hands? They were like, you're going to be great. Yeah, it felt amazing. And
was this your first TV and film booking?
No.
I should have done more research before.
No.
You came over. I should have been like, let me see where he started.
No, you're good. I mean, how far back you trying to go? I've done some movies. Like I did a movie or two in New York and New Jersey. I've done commercial work. And,
yes, commercial
my
for sure.
first ever. I don't even think it's on IMDb. I was an extra in Beethoven's Big Break.
Oh, wow.
In 9th grade. They filmed it almost entirely on Universal Studios Orlando property.
Oh my gosh, Adam was in that. Adam Veneer, Adam really? From book. Yeah, I'm pretty sure because I remember one time he was telling me how he still gets residuals, and he was telling he used Beethoven as an example. He was like, "Yeah, they filmed Beethoven here," and I forgot who he played, but he was like telling me about it. So next time we see Adam, bring that up.
The pizza chef. Yeah, it was really cool because I was a kid, and I didn't know anything about TV film. I was in like 9th grade, and to my mind, it was like, they want you to be an extra in this movie. And I was like, it's my big time.
Yeah.
What was really cool was the first time I went with my dad, who's now passed. And so if you pause it at a very specific moment, we're in there as like audience at the end of the movie premiere. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Beethoven's Big Break by now. And then they called me back to be an extra again. And my dad and I were like, they liked it. They won. They were in the big leagues now.
You got it, kid. You got Moxie.
And I was in a scene with Moises Iris.
Oh, very cool. That's the kid from Fallout and like Hannah Montana.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Ender's Game, I think. And I remember at one point they were freaking out between takes. They're like, "Where's Moises? Where's Moises?" And like I looked over and this like there were like a wall of lockers, and a locker just like clicked open, and he was like. He had like taken a break in a locker because it was a big locker and he's a little guy. And that was really cool. So that was my very, very first thing ever.
That was your humbling beginning.
My first like sink my teeth into a film thing was When I'm With You, filmed in New York with my good friend Adrienne Lovett, who's just a stellar force of nature in the industry. She's doing big things all the time. She was in The Penguin and a bunch of other stuff. But she really gave me a chance to like try it on for size and see how I felt about it. And
that's awesome.
That was the bug, that bit where I was like, oh, I felt the most like where I was supposed to be on set.
Yeah, that's awesome. Cool. So from Beethoven all the way to Disney's Descendants. What a journey, what a career. Yeah. So tell me about filming it. Like you guys filmed in Atlanta, right?
Yeah, we filmed it in Covington, Georgia, which is about 45 minutes east of Atlanta. That's where they film like a lot of Vampire Diaries.
Yes,
and they filmed a little like Venom and Tick Tick Boom out there, and
very cool.
Dukes of Hazzard. So it was neat. It was like we were kind of like, it felt like to us the middle of nowhere, and then we would drive for like less than an hour and be like in Atlanta where there was like so much to offer.
Me and Savannah we're just talking about local hire and the trials and errors of being a local hire. Were you a local hire for Descendants?
Yes, wait, was I? Yeah.
No.
No.
Okay.
No,
I
sorry.
was gonna be shocked if you said yes.
No. We lived in a hotel altogether. No, I was not local hire.
Okay.
I did drive my car up though, so I was a bit mama bird of the VK group.
Okay.
So in between filming, it was
Come on, kids, get in the car.
me and the VKs would pile into my car and we would go.
Soccer mom,
have fun.
love it.
Yeah, beep, beep. Yeah, that was
that is cool. All right, so that's good that you weren't local hire, because I was gonna say, oh my gosh,
No,
like
yeah.
Disney local hire, what?
No, I had to think about it for a second. Yeah, no, they housed me and everything. And
That's awesome.
well fed.
Isn't, I mean, crafty, that's why we all do it, right? It's
That's
truly
the
why we
reason.
do it. And
That's the reason.
there's really no other reason than craft services.
Oh man. Yeah, the food was
But that's
good.
how long did you film for?
We rehearsed for a month in January and we filmed for like a month and a half. We started in early February. We were done by like mid to late March. It was quick.
Yeah.
There was
Did you rap with everybody? Like everyone rapped at the same time, or did you rap beforehand?
actually we the VKs were the last shot of the film. The end of Perfect Revenge, when she like blows her like horn, it's the end of the song. We're like at the edge of the water. That was like the last thing we filmed, period. So the film wrapped with us.
Oh, wow.
It was really cool.
That is really cool. It's like always so fun to like rap with a production, like where everyone's rapped. That's a cool feeling. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
Do
we
you
made
remember,
it.
like your first and last scene you filmed with like juror number 2?
The first scene that we filmed, it was July 2023. This was before the strike. This is
Okay.
literally a week before the strike happened.
Oh wow.
So we
When you
drove
started or end?
when we started.
Oh my gosh.
So this was July 2023. I'm driving up, I want to say July, like, I don't even know, like July 13 or something like that. I'm driving up to Savannah because we shot in Savannah. And we were all nervous because they had already started filming with Nicholas and Zoe and Tony. And the jurors all came at the same time.
Cool.
And most of us were coming from Atlanta, or in my case, Florida. So we all got there and we were all nervous already because we knew that the following week was when negotiations were to end. And it was either going to be we go on strike, or it was going to be, they found middle ground and got a negotiation and stuff like that. But we were all scared shitless because we were like, like we did not know what was going to happen. So anyways, so I arrive, and the first thing that we shot was the scene in the bus where we're like on our way to the crime scene. That was the very first thing that we shot. I remember it was raining. It was pouring rain when we arrived to set. Me and
Just
Hetty,
like that night.
Yeah, just like that night. Yes. I just thought about that. Wow, how poetic. But it was like downpouring rain. I was like, what is going on? I was like, is this like setting up the precedent of how this is gonna go? But there was like thunder and lightning. We're in our trailers, just kind of like looking out, like, oh boy. But then it cleared up, and we were able to at least film like that scene in the bus where we're all like sitting. So that was the first thing that we filmed. And then the last thing was one of the deliberations that we had. It was like the final shot.
Man, you were in the room with so many heavy hitters. I was glued. I was thrilled for you. Like what a time. And you really held your own, if I could just say so. I mean, like no surprise there, but
Stop.
I mean, if I might say, when you get trained to act, there's different phrases for it, but they say like sell the pizza, where it's like, if you're a brand new actor and you want to do a good job and you want to show everyone that you can act, you get your line where it's like, the line is like, your pizza will be $4.78, and people are like, your pizza will be $4.78, like showing off. They're like, the story's not about you. Just move it right along. And you did such a great job of like living it, like as a fully fleshed human being who was supposed to be there, who had like, you had a really subtle way of having a lot of life. Like I could sense like who that person was without us having to like stare at you or like have backstory too much. It just glued in. Like you fit really well into the genre and like blended with the mood of the room. I was really impressed with your work.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much. That's very sweet of you. Yeah, it was very intimidating, as you said, like a lot of heavy hitters.
Yeah.
But the amazing thing was all of those scenes in the courtroom were just so much fun to film because I had no pressure. I had no lines. All I got to do was sit and watch all these heavy hitters do their thing. And it was just amazing to watch them just do their craft and like just see it all happen. And it was It was a lot of fun. Like that, those are my favorite days because it's just like, I just get to sit here next to Clint Eastwood and just kind of watch him do his thing and like see Nicholas Hoult just devour this role and see Toni Collette have fun with her role. And Chris Messina, oh my gosh, my favorite Chris Messina was every time he approached us, like the jury to give his argument or whatever, I was so locked in. That man,
he's kinetic.
He really is. I could not even look at him in the eyes. I was like intimidated. But he is so sweet. He is so sweet. Such a kind person.
That's good.
I remember when I first came out of my trailer and I met Nicholas Hoult. That man is tall. That is a tall boy. Yeah. I was like, hello. But everyone in that cast was so much fun to work with, and everyone was so sweet.
You know, the coincidence of us talking about this is I've actually fashioned a lot of what I've done over the years or thought about on him. Like, as a boy, I was a bit more puffy in the cheeks, and I had like the coconutty brown hair, and I would have like the big jeans with the CD player in my pocket.
Okay,
aging myself. CD player. What's that?
What is that?
And I would listen to hip hop. I've always been a hip hop kid. And About a Boy.
Yes.
Nicholas Hoult, he's walking down the hallway going, shake your ass, watch yourself. And I'm telling you, like, that's the closest to like a personification of who I was as a kid. And as he's grown up and done different roles, like I see so much of, I connect so much to the types of roles he does and how he approaches them. And, you know, obviously I'm me and I do things my way, but I've taken so much inspiration from what he does. And I really relish every time I get to see him do something new. Also, I love dialect work. And for a British man, his American is solid.
You know, and it's so funny because on set, he was like joking around of how it was terrible. And we were all like, what are you talking about? Like,
even the strongest people have insecurities.
Yes.
Everybody's got insecurities.
I want to say like, because someone else was trying to do an accent. And I think everyone was like hounding on that person. Like, what is that? What are you trying to do? And then he's like, oh, well, have you heard my American? And we were like, yeah, it's great. Like, yeah, but
there are certain actors like you see, like British actors that are amazing. And then you hear them do an American dialect and you're like, oh, well, you know, you're doing your best, or vice versa, you know, people doing Irish or British or whatever, you know, it comes out and you're like, whoa. But yeah, like at no point during the movie was I like, oh, he's putting on a dialect. Like it was really solid. I'm a big fan. And of Toni Collette and Chris Messina. Yeah, that movie was, and J.K. Simmons. The first time I see you on screen, you're sitting next to J.K. Simmons.
Which is, oh my gosh. I know, which was crazy. Like, I did not see that happening. Like, they told us to sit kind of wherever. I think certain people, they had them placed. But I was just one of those persons that were like, Onyx, you know, sit whatever. And I sat on the bench first. And then who do I see walking up? I see J.K. Simmons sitting next to me. And I'm like, oh. I was like, good morning, Mr. Simmons. Such a sweet guy, too. Sure. Such a sweet guy. We bonded over British TV shows. He loves British TV shows.
Really?
Loves them.
Like what kind of, like which one?
He loves The Crown. Yeah. Loves The Crown.
Who doesn't?
We were talking about Succession, and oh my gosh, who is the actor that plays the Sarah Snook's husband?
Is it McFadden?
Oh, maybe. But he was in Pride and Prejudice.
Yeah.
So we were talking about like his work and how great he is.
Oh my God, Clint McFadden. Anyway, I'm drawing a blank on his name.
No, I can't remember it either.
Yeah,
but I know. Yeah, but we were talking about like his amazing work and like Pride and Prejudice and everything he does. And then it was so funny because is it Matthew?
I'm not sure. I gotta look it up.
Yeah,
I'm like such a fan and I'm blanking on his name. I'm like, are you a fan? You don't even know his name.
I know. I really couldn't remember. But what kills me though is. J.K. Simmons took a look at me, took a look at my, it is Matthew.
Matthew McFadden. Okay.
There you go.
Takes a look at you.
No, sorry, not Clint. J.K. looks at me. Okay. He takes a look at my hair and he goes, yeah, like pretty much J.K. confirmed that I was balding when, while filming. He's also bald. And I was like, yeah, I think it's going to happen. And he was like, yeah.
Of all the people
I was like,
it.
But hey, you know, look at his career. Look what he's done, and he's bald. So I'll take it. If J.K. Simmons says,
"How do you feel about it?"
I feel good. I mean, it took me a while.
I clocked it. That's not the kind of thing I usually clock on people.
I clock it myself all the time.
Well, sure, yeah.
No, but it was just really funny for him to like confirm what I was so worried about. It was like, yeah, you're gonna lose your hair. And I was like, okay, well, you know, I see J.K. Simmons as the bald fairy godmother who's like just kind of giving me his blessing of like,
you're going to be fine.
You're going to be okay. No, but he was so sweet. He was so sweet and just such a joy to work with. So let me ask you this. Let's get right back to the Descendants of it all because I I was curious after the success of Descendants and when the film came out, I saw a lot of Anthony that I just on a different side that I've never seen you before. And I just saw a lot of fan edits of young Hades going around my For You page.
Yeah.
How was that? Like, how was, because I did juror number 2, but you don't see edits of Eli anywhere
yet. I'm gonna go home and edit one.
Yeah, could someone do that, please? But no, I saw a lot of edits of young Hades, and I was like, "Oh, I've never seen Anthony in this light before."
I don't think Anthony had seen Anthony in that light before. How is it to have fan edits made of you, Anthony? Humbling.
Okay.
We're all our own worst critic. So, I mean, unless you're walking around as like a diagnosed clinical narcissist or something, you're not like, dang, all these people fancy me.
Yeah.
It makes me giggle.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I'll forget about it from time to time, and then I'll run into somebody I haven't seen in a while, and they're like, "Hey, congratulations!" I'm like, "Oh, thank you so much." And they're like, "Yeah." I was like, "What's he doing?" And I opened my phone, and there was like a thirst.
Oh,
like a
thirst trap video,
yeah.
like a little.
And I was like, "Aha, yeah, that does exist now, doesn't it?" Yeah,
it's out there.
That's me in all my glory.
But hey, I think it's valid.
I'm flattered that somebody would be so moved by what they saw me be a part of that they're like, I'm going to make my own thing out of it. That's kind of cool.
The reality is that all these 12-year-old girls, 15-year-old girls, whatever the fandom for Descendants is, we're like, young Hades got it. Young Hades got it. And I agree. I agree.
Something about a leather jacket and fire, it stands the test of time.
Well, but hey, when you got it, flaunt it. You know what I mean?
Whatever. I would joke with my friends sometimes that like that was my first time doing that kind of like CGI work where like
the flames and stuff like
or
that.
I would just have ideas where I'm like, I'm just gonna do this.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all gonna just do something cool with that later? And they were like, we got you. And I was like, great, I hope so. Otherwise I'm gonna look like an idiot.
It's just you in the film like this. Yeah. And everyone's like, what is he doing?
The thumb thing was my idea.
Okay.
Because
cool.
they wanted to do some kind of fire thing again. And I was like, I would really love to throw in like a James Woods nod when he like in the cartoon, he like snaps his thumb and he lights like a cigar.
That's very cool.
Yeah. So
look at you doing your research as an actor.
And to prepare Stanislavski.
Yeah.
The third time I referenced that, Stanislavski is gonna like come to life like Beetlejuice out of the wall.
Yeah. His ghost will appear.
Yeah. It's really neat. It was really cool. And I'm really grateful for the ways it has pushed me forward. The things I learned from it. A lot of validation too.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure your projects were for you. Where like, when you're an actor who's aspiring, you're like, I think I can do this and I want to do this. And then you book something and then you're there and suddenly what you're imagining is like the reality.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to adjust to it real fast. Like, okay, I belong here. Several people decided that I'm the guy for the job. So there's no more room for questioning. I shouldn't be here. Now it just becomes what you want to do with it. Like, I was kind of coaching this guy the other day on set. I say the other day, this was like a half a year ago on set. Brand new guy, sweetheart. He was playing, I'm in a TV show that's supposed to come out soon.
Oh, this is a So Sincerely exclusive. He's going to be on another TV show.
It's going to be on, what's the Super Bowl's airing on Peacock?
No, is it? Or Paramount Plus? Or I don't know.
Anyway,
sports. I don't know.
This guy was playing like my like henchman, and he's like, well, "When do we go?" And I was like, "When they call action." He's like, "Okay, what do we do?" And I was like, "Whatever you want."
Yeah.
I was like, "Just whatever you think feels right for your character in this moment." He was like, "Okay." He's like, "How do I know?" And I was like, "Well, but here's the thing. Everyone out there, their job is to make the best project. Like we're all here to make the best project. And our job, like the reason they hired us is because they trust that we have some ideas about what to do with it. And the worst case scenario is if you try something and it doesn't work, there's going to be more than one person behind the camera to help you out and say, hey, let's try something different. But it's sort of a microcosm for life for a little bit where like no one's going to tell you in advance, like this is how you build the Lego set.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to like put something together.
Mm-hmm.
And then if they call cut and nobody wants you to change anything, then that's what became
You're golden. You're golden.
Now you made your sauce. I don't remember the point I was making, but
No, I don't remember either, but that's amazing.
yeah. Yeah, just like getting to make it your own and trusting. Oh, like when you get the job and you're validated,
Oh,
that,
yeah,
like
yeah.
you're like, cool. Now it's up to me to make my art um, under these extreme circumstances where you're around actors that you really admire. I was really excited to be around Jeremy Swift from Ted Lasso, and I had to play it cool. You know, at the end of the day, we all bleed the same blood. That's a
Mhm.
human being, and he's got a
Mhm.
really cool job. But it was awesome to see him work, like you were talking about in the scenes where you got to sit there and
In the
watch him do the
courtroom,
thing in
yeah.
the courtroom. Um, Jeremy Swift would just like he would be like off in the corner doing his own thing. And they would call first team in and he would come in, they'd call action. He was on and he was funny and he was trying new things. There was no discussion about it. It was great and it was alive every time. And they would call cut and he would be like, thank you. And he would just like go off into his chair. And that I soaked that up. I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's the vibe.
That's the vibe. That's the vibe. So after Descendants, like obviously, like I said, like you grew up a huge following from that too. And then what was that, how did you keep that momentum going? Like, did it fall off a little bit? Did the momentum just keep happening? I know you've booked some amazing things after Descendants, but what was that like? Or did you put let me ask you this actually, because I felt this after I did Juror number 2. I felt an immense pressure on myself to keep the momentum going
Sure.
because I said, I can't let the ball drop after this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did you feel that after Descendants?
I did feel that. And, you know, unless there's a funny middle ground about the kind of part that we had where like we weren't the star.
Yeah.
We weren't unimportant. We were important enough to be a part of it and in the scenes that matter.
We helped the story move forward.
Yeah. All the scenes matter, but you know what I mean? So when you're in that middle ground where you don't have the whole team being like, all right, here's how we're going to keep the momentum. We're going to show you to keep the momentum going and support you. You're kind of left to your own devices. And I think it's easier to say in hindsight that you only have so much control
of what your career does after. Yeah. Or where it takes you.
Period.
Yeah.
In life.
Full stop.
No control. But you know what I think of when people ask me this kind of thing is Don Cheadle had an interview where he said people will come up to you and go, I want to do what you do. And he goes, okay, do you want to be famous? Do you want to be a working actor? What it is exactly you want to do? Because like, if you want to be a working actor, what are you doing? Like, he's like, it doesn't mean I'm booking all the time or whatever, but it's like, are you reading plays? Are you trying stuff out with people? Are you, are you taping all the time? Because that's the a little less glamorous side people don't always catch is like, I'm working all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I book here and there, maybe if I'm doing decently, maybe like 1, 2, 3 times a year.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I'm at in my career right now. But I'm auditioning all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Many auditions per week. And I have to, I've over the years reframed my brain to get really excited about like, okay, every time I get an audition, it's a chance for me to practice. It's a chance for me to be a little filmmaker. It's a chance for me to get more comfortable being myself in front of the camera. That's the big thing is you get, at least for me, you get this idea of like, all right, I'm acting now, but like the camera is going to pick up on every little thing. And so if you're not being yourself, then it's going to know. And so every time I audition, it's a chance to be like, okay, what would this role look like if it was Anthony doing it?
Mm-hmm.
So all to say, with the momentum, this happens to me a lot. I'm like, I got a lot of thoughts. What was I saying?
No, you're good. The momentum of it all, like keeping it going after such a success.
I think there are things you can accept that are within your control as long as you can accept the greater amount of it that's out of your control, which is, like you can read plays, you can audition for things. You can be meeting people or going to seminars or whatever, but at the end of the day, one, if your craft is being a living, breathing human being, then you have to put time into being a living, breathing human being.
Right.
And that's part of what the momentum looks like. That's the TV film working actors version of like self-care of like, what does it look like for you? Is it going to the gym? Is it getting 8 hours of sleep? Is it spending time with your friends when your brain's like, oh, I have to be, I'm not doing enough. It's like, you are baby girl. You
are baby girl.
You are enough.
Hush up now.
I tell a lot of people, especially with this craft, that having other things that are important to you that have nothing to do with this are so important
Mhm.
because it's really unforgiving. And you can be as dedicated as you want to be to the momentum, but you know, you book a part when it's your turn,
Mhm.
and you don't get to decide when it's your turn.
Mhm.
Um, and inevitably, all these other things that have nothing to do with TV film do because they're a part of you, and then you'll end up bringing it into the character in the scene and make it interesting. Uh,
Yeah.
so that's my soapbox about the
That's your
momentum.
2 cents. That's your 2 cents right there.
That's about 10 cents.
I felt very much like I wish I would have thought that way more after Journey number 2 because that's definitely not how I thought. I just felt like, okay, like I had this huge win. I can't go back now. You know what I mean? Like
Sure.
you can't do something as big as what you did, for example, or vice versa. And then I don't know, take 2 steps backwards. That's kind of like how I
Yeah.
was kind of seeing it. I just wanted to move the needle and
Yeah.
I didn't. And I just felt like, okay, like this has like, we need to keep going.
And once you taste it,
Yeah, of
you're like,
course.
surely I can hold on to
Yeah,
it.
correct.
Yeah.
It was that. It was like so much pressure on holding on to what was going on. And
Yeah.
then we were still coming back from a strike. You know, the strike had just ended. Because the thing is, we started in July of 2023. I didn't go back to finish until November, like the week before or 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, because that's when the strike ended. Like literally the strike ended on like a Wednesday. I was in Savannah by Saturday.
Wow. Yeah. They were like, no time to lose.
Yeah, we have no time to lose. Which that feeling too was amazing of like, I have something to go back to once the strike is over. So that was something I was extremely grateful for. And that was in itself like, it was a good day to be an actor that day for me.
Yeah.
But after we wrapped and everything again, there was this like pressure in myself that like, okay, we gotta keep this train rolling, you know? And that didn't happen. Like it was like I had some reads here and there. Like I got to read for some really great stuff here and there, but it really was just kind of like a kind of like slowly just and I was like, oh, okay, how do I not lose my mind now? You know what I mean? And it's like you said, like it's like you have to do other things to kind of keep you grounded in that sense. And I think that's where I missed, if I'm being fully transparent.
I probably did the same. I think I'm better at talking about these things than putting them into action.
I think we all are.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is for you will not miss you. Like how many times do I say that to myself or to other actors too? It's like, what is for you will not miss you. But then it's hard because you're like, no, I think it missed the exit back there.
Yeah.
But it is a hard thing to like absorb and like put into practice. But it is the truth for sure.
It really is. There's a thing I live by with like, I say ride the waves where like when you're up, you're allowed to feel up, and when you're down, you have to let yourself feel down. But if you fight the current, you'll drown.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you change that analogy to like a roller coaster, like roller coasters are fun because it takes it takes over the course of like 2 minutes, you're like, whoa, and it feels like fun all the time. But if you slow that way down, that's what we're doing. We're like, when you're up, you're like, whoa, this is amazing. And looking at it in slow motion, it has to do this for a while to gain that momentum, and you have to trust that it is eventually going to come back up. That down portion can really drive you nuts, and that's when you got to dig your heels into other things that matter.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of like the success and keeping the momentum going, after the success of Descendants, there was a tour where the cast went on tour with zombies. I, as your bestie and #1 fan, I know. And maybe you guys don't know this. Maybe y'all don't know this because truly Anthony only got to sing like a tiny bit in Descendants. Y'all have not heard this man sing. This man can sing. So I was probably like, oh yeah, like when they first announced it, like just kind of like, oh yeah, this is gonna happen. I was like, Anthony's totally gonna be a part of that, and I'm gonna go watch him. Like I can't wait. And I don't think you went on tour.
I did not go on tour. That's okay. That's okay.
That's okay. But I wanted to
Avengers movies, like if every superhero got to be part of every scene, that movie would be long as hell.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. But I wanted to ask, like, were you like, did anyone reach out? Anything with that tour happen for you or not happen for you? Like, I just want the tea.
No. Yeah. I am like a well-privileged civilian.
Okay.
Where like I got to be a part of that really cool thing. And when I was there, I know a lot of things that people don't know because I was there. But otherwise, just like Kenny Ortega not directing my film, I found out when the rest of the public found out online.
Okay, gotcha.
At least I think that's the story. I might be wrong about that. I don't want to spread misinformation, but I think...
Did he direct the first 3?
He did.
Okay.
I mean, that's why Descendants. That's one of the main reasons Descendants is as great as it is, because they had
Kenny Ortega,
the
man.
legend Kenny Ortega at the helm of it. I heard about the tour same as everybody else, and I was like, that's dope. I'm really excited for them, and they killed it.
They did?
They
Yeah.
they killed.
I saw
it.
snippets on TikTok
Oh,
and
it
stuff.
was so cool. It was so cool. I'm so stoked.
Have you
for them.
seen Zombies? I've never seen Zombies.
I have not.
No, it's okay. Me neither.
I have not. I hear it's really good.
Yeah, I'm excited for Milo. Like, I'm excited for Milo and all the things he's doing. Like, he just got announced that he's going to be playing Flynn Rider in the live action Tangled, which is amazing.
Really, I didn't hear that.
You didn't hear that? Yes, he's going to be playing Flynn Rider in the live. Yes,
just
so sincerely exclusive for Anthony. Milo will be playing Flynn Rider in Tangled.
Cool.
Well, that's, and that's it. But you did do some amazing stuff after Descendants, because you got to be in, and by the way, my stepmother and my sister, they're freaking out that you're here because they love The Summer I Turned Pretty.
Ah, yeah.
So you did get to do some pretty amazing things after Descendants, like being in a very, very talk about show, which was The Summer I Turned Pretty.
A few of them. I've been really, really lucky. Will Trent, Elsbeth, Summer I Turned Pretty, just some really awesome productions with some very talented people. It's been a lot of fun.
That's amazing. Okay, full transparency, I've not watched Will Trent or Elizabeth or The Summer I Turned Pretty. However, rooting for you always. But
I didn't see the Gordita Chronicles.
That's okay. That's totally fine. Did you watch Fantasy Island? No, and that's okay.
Not yet.
That's okay. They're all canceled. It's fine. No, but The Summer I Turned Pretty, that must have been amazing.
That was really cool.
What did you do? Were you a guest star? Were you a co-star? What was your character?
Co-star in this most recent season. Spoiler alert, if you haven't watched the recent season yet, Jeremiah is getting around.
Oh.
And there's a Thanksgiving party where it's insinuated that he's been seeing a guy who's showing up to the party thinking, I'm going to look my best and bring a bottle of wine to this awesome party that my beau invited me to. And I walk in on him like making out with a woman.
Ooh.
And I'm spurned and I walk out. And that's my whole thing.
How dare he?
Not to kill the vibe, but this, my father passed away while I was filming that scene.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. I got the call, like we went to lunch and then came back from lunch and they were setting up the shot and I got the call and they were like, all right, Anthony, 2 set, we're going to film it. I was like, wow. The funny thing is, I'll talk about that for 2 seconds. My life experience was like, my dad prepared me for it for my whole life. So it's always a little odd to me when people go like, I'm so sorry. I'm always like, yeah, no, the thing we talked about all those years was going to happen, finally happened. But, super fascinating experience. That's such a high profile show. Now I'll have that precise moment of my life that happens to everyone eventually, almost everyone eventually, is on camera. Just fascinating to me.
Reminds me of like Vanessa Hudgens, right? When she lost her father right before Grease Live.
Yeah.
Like that. I can only imagine.
It was crazy because the whole night I'm working alongside Thomas Everett Scott, who I grew up watching in That Thing You Do with my dad. Like my dad was a huge Tom Hanks fan. And then that introduced me to Thomas Everett Scott. And the whole night I was like, I can't wait to tell him. Like, I think I'm pretty well adjusted to working with people who are names. Like living in New York, I met a lot of famous people when I was young and it adjusted me really fast to being like, okay, those are also human beings that just have a job that I've heard of. But this one in particular, like meant something to me. And I was excited to pull him aside and be like, hey, I grew up watching you and it's just really cool to share a set with you. I'd love to remember this and get a selfie together. And then I got that call and I was like, well, that conversation is going to take a turn. So I pulled him outside and I was like, hey, this is going to be just as weird for you as it is for me. But this is what just happened. And wanted to talk to you about it. And he was really cool. He was really cool. He was understanding and sweet. And I was like, this might be the strangest time ever to say, let's get a photo. But I think I was like, should we smile? What
yeah.
Should we?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I have that forever now. It's that, I don't know. It just felt, it was neat and it was fitting and it was, impactful and I'll never forget it. But aside from all that drama, The Summer I Turned Pretty was really cool to be on set. Also a neat little coincidence. Maybe like a month or two prior to filming that, I was at the premiere for Descendants and I went home with
which you looked great, by the way.
Thank you.
I loved your outfit. I was like, oh.
The stylist killed it.
Yeah, that was great.
I went home with my friends and we fell asleep watching New Girl, one of my favorite shows. And the episode I watched was the Parent Trap Thanksgiving episode with Reiner and with
Okay.
Jamie Lee Curtis. And it was directed by Jesse Peretz, who directed my episode of Summer I Turned Pretty like months later.
Just a little happy coincidence.
Just weird, the industry, it connected in funny little ways, but it's just funny that I was like, I literally, because you do your research on who you're going to work with. I was like, I just watched this guy's work.
That is so funny.
Isn't that neat?
That is very neat.
Isn't that neat?
Was that your first premiere, the Descendants one?
It was.
Did you have fun?
I did have fun. It was really cool. It was like a big party, and
in LA, right?
Yeah. And I felt so lucky that I got to bring some of the most important people at the time in my life there. Cause it can be a little like intimidating.
Mhm.
And when you got your people who like, they know you when you're in, when you're, nobody knows who you are and you're in your pajamas and ugly and you're working your 9 to 5.
Yeah,
and they're
yeah.
like, I know who you are and I love you. And like, they're there when you're like at the top of your game, your day ones. That was really dope. It's like a big party.
Are you getting royalties for like the songs? Like there's the residuals. There's the residual part, right? For the film.
Do I?
But the music.
I'm not sure. I should look into that.
Anyways. Something to think about after we're done filming here. Maybe call your agent and your manager. Anyways, that's great. Well, this has been, you know what? Let's just end it here. This has been so much fun. Anthony's going to go check and see if he's getting royalties for these songs from Descendant. But anything you want to say to those young aspiring actors out there who are like, wow, gee, I want to be just like Anthony.
Be just like Onyx. Because Onyx is in a beautiful home with a person that he loves, and he's making his own stuff and he's inviting his friends over, and isn't that what life's about? What should I say to aspiring actors? Hey, no one is gonna walk into the audition room with your laugh and your smile and your opinions and your weird passions and your weird quirks. So whenever any voice creeps in your brain that's like, I should be more like this, or that person's prettier, or has more money, or has more connections, whatever, bump all that. Because the best and only thing you can bring into the room is being yourself. And even if you're not an actor, it just makes your life a lot better when you're wearing your own shoes.
And to those who are not actors, I would just like to say, look both ways before you cross the street. Don't take candy from a stranger. I think those are the two biggest ones, honestly. Till then, we'll see you on the next one, my friends. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye.
Bye.